We're at Disney Springs tonight to check out the brand new drone show, Disney Dreams That Soar. I'm very excited. Are you excited?
I'm excited, but this is our first drone show that we've ever seen, so I don't really know what to expect.
I think it'll be super cool. We have found our spot. It is 7:51, so we've got a little over an hour, right?
Yep.
Yeah, a little over an hour. They basically had us all kind of in a waiting area, and then about 7:45 they let us in. Well, a little after 7:45.
Your best viewing location is going to be essentially in front of Haleo, Summer House, that area. I did notice that they did have a handicap section kind of roped off by the food trucks, basically right next to Summer House. Whether that is going to stay that way or change, who knows really at this point. So kind of take some of our tips and where we're at with a little bit of a grain of salt, just because it's opening night, things could very easily change.
Basically follow the signs. There were lots of signs tonight, so there should hopefully be plenty of signs whenever you're here. All right, we have moved to a new spot. So first show was so cute. We'll give you a little bit more thoughts here later, but I want to talk a little bit about logistics. I cannot say that this is going to be the case every single night because a lot of it's going to depend on crowds. Obviously, with tonight being the first night, it's like the busiest.
Yeah, and because it is first night, you know, they're kind of testing things, seeing what works, seeing what doesn't, and things could very easily change on the fly.
But just to give you an idea of kind of how tonight went, so back over by Cirque du Soleil, kind of behind House of Blues, that was where they started queuing guests up. I think people started queuing around 6 o'clock for the first show.
Yeah.
But they let us in around 7:45. The first show was at 9 p.m. The second show is at 10:45. So we pretty much got right back in line right after the first show. We were one of the first few people, and then they just let us in now at about 9:45 for the later show.
So something to note that may or may not be obvious, because there is a queue, you can't just go camp out a spot hours and hours ahead of time behind Summer House or Haleo behind us. As you can see, they pretty much shut off the area. I know I mentioned earlier too that I did notice that they had a handicap section kind of over by like the food trucks right next to Summer House. So
my guess
that
is
something
that's
that you're
a
looking for.
Separate queue. My guess is that'll be a separate queue area. Again, kind of play it by ear. Basically, you're just going to look for the Disney Dreams That Soar signs. They'll tell you where to go.
Yeah, there's big A-frame signs all over the west end of Disney Springs down here. Just follow the directions, and if you're not sure if maybe those signs are out or something, just ask a cast member. I'm sure they'll be able to point you in the right direction.
As with Fantasmic, I would definitely recommend doing the later show. I think that overall it's probably going to be the less busy of the two shows every night. So if you can stay up and do the later show, I would recommend doing that one.
As far as the show itself, we're going to talk all more about that after the second show, just so we can kind of wrap our thoughts about that. So stay tuned for that.
Now, this show is a limited time offering, so if you are planning on visiting anytime now to September 2nd, the show will be running nightly here at Disney Springs. It is totally free to the public, so you don't need a park ticket, you don't need to pay anything, which is great because I think that's the only show on property that you can really see that you don't have to pay a penny for.
Yeah.
So that is really cool. Again, that goes till September 2nd, 2024. Who knows? If it's popular enough, it could get extended. We don't know. We'll just have to see. But I definitely think it's worth coming to see.
A big logistic thing that may or may not impact you specifically, but does impact a huge group of people, is that the boats at Disney Springs will stop running at 8 p.m. That's for Port Orleans French Quarter and Riverside. All of those those boats will stop running, and I would assume even the amphicars as well.
As far as we've observed, the amphicars and the aerofoil, which is like the balloon, both of those stopped running about 8 p.m. So
Correct.
I would say if you are needing to use, if you're hoping to use boat transportation or hoping to use any of those things again this summer, just plan on doing those earlier in the day or earlier in the evening, because those will shut off at 8 p.m.
Good evening. Right here, underneath the starlit sky, a timeless adventure is about to unfold. Inspired by the magic makers, heroes, and dreamers who have come before. Now, unleash your heart, let your imagination fly, and discover just where you'll go as we present Disney Dreams That Soar.
Come on, everybody. Here we go. There it is, Wendy. Second star to the right and straight on till morning.
The ninth wonder of the universe. The wildest running flying elephant. Dumbo. Wait till we get to the big time! My name is Doug. I just met you and I love you.
You are a real spirit guide! Who's a good spirit guide? You are! Whoa!
I want to learn the ways of the Force and become a Jedi like my father.
You've taken your first step into a larger world. That's no moon. It's a space station.
All winds reporting.
Red 5 standing by.
Fire coming in point 3. Watch that crossfire, boy. Watch it, you've got one on your tail.
I have you now.
Ahead. Right area here.
Use the Force. The Force is strong with this one.
You're all clear, kid. Now let's pull this thing and go home.
Force will be with you. Always.
Hello, I am Baymax, your personal healthcare companion.
Baymax, wings. Thrusters.
Flying makes me a better healthcare companion.
Hey, you know what? There's another name you might know me by.
Star.
Welcome to the Guardians of the Galaxy.
Dance off, bro.
Come on, Drax. Dance.
There are two types of beings in the universe. Those who dance and those who do not.
I'm gonna die surrounded by the biggest idiots in the galaxy. Did that look cool?
Yeah, that looked cool.
To infinity and beyond.
There's a place beyond the sky where your stories come alive. And with a leap of faith, you might find your spirit guide. A whole new world where new beginnings never get old. You can light the way that seems impossible. If you're feeling small, you can fly away. When new adventures coming your way, and tomorrow's always brighter than yesterday. Let's go right where you wanna be, where the magic feels like family, and you can wish upon a star and never look back. Let's go to the place where dreams come true. You can be you and the hero too. This is the moment we've all been waiting for. Just imagine where you go with dreams that soar. Use the thunder in your heart to prepare you for the dark, because the path you take ends far from where you start. When it's time to spread your wings, you'll see that everything's in reach. You can change the world if you just believe. If you're feeling small, you can fly away. New adventures coming your way, and tomorrow's always brighter than yesterday. Right where you wanna be, where the magic feels like memories, and you can wish upon a star and never look back. Let's go to the place where dreams come true. You can be you and the hero too. This is the moment we've all been waiting for. Just imagine where you'll go with dreams that soar.
Remember, there's no limit to how far you can go when you have dreams that soar.
Wow, what a fun little show.
It's very fun, very cute.
I think it's really cool that Disney is kind of testing this idea of having a drone show.
Yeah.
I know that at the international parks they do a lot with the drones, and so I'm kind of excited that they're bringing this domestically. I don't necessarily think that this particular show is something that's going to be around for a long, long time. I mean,
Yeah.
it is technically a limited show, but I do think it's trailblazing the way to potentially incorporate some of these things Springs in future shows, which is exciting.
Yeah, I 100% agree. I don't. Is it a great show that I would absolutely go out of my way for?
Yeah,
Probably.
if you're coming on a trip, yes.
Yeah.
I don't think I would necessarily book a trip just specifically to see this show, because it's not like a happily ever after luminous, like it's not some big huge grand thing, but it is very fun.
Yeah, I think if you've already planned a trip this summer, by all means, definitely come see it, because it's very fun, very cute. Would I necessarily book a trip to come see it, like Kayla said? Probably not. I do think that Disney is probably doing some almost like crowd testing, but also just testing logistically and getting the practice of running a drone show and running drones and
crowd control
for and that brings up another great point, is crowd control at Disney Springs, because they haven't really had much like this before. They're figuring out, is this something potentially we could bring a nighttime show, like a permanent nighttime show for Disney Springs. So it is very nice that they have a free offering at Disney Springs that you don't have to pay parking for or park admission, something like that. So it is nice in that sense that, maybe this is opening the door for something more permanent at Disney Springs, but like Kayla said, more permanent as far as drones in Disney World.
I do also think as far as queuing goes, because like we mentioned earlier, it's the first night, so this is not going to be 100% the way it's going to go every single night, because you've got, all the vloggers like us and all the locals that are like, we got to go see the new show. I do think that there is going to be some sort of queuing system. I do think that the flow of how that worked was really smart, because people who got there earlier got, those more up against the water views. People who got there later were still, like, you still get a great view. You're just not like on the little rail thing. And so I do hope that they continue to kind of do that. As far as like how early you should get here to queue, that's really hard to say because it's really going to depend on crowds. Again, I think if you do the later show, you're going to have a lot easier option getting, like, you're not going to have to queue for as long, and you're going to have an easier time getting a spot. We noticed that when we came in, it did not fill up nearly as fast as the first show did. There was still lots of space behind us for a while.
One thing I wanted to say, because we did watch both the first and second show, for the first show, we were more down towards like House of Blues, Cirque du Soleil, and the boat dock down there. Where the second show, we were actually closer to like Summer House.
We were right in front of Haleo.
It doesn't seem like a big difference, but it was a noticeable difference, I'll say that.
You can definitely tell probably in some of the footage that you're more straight on to the images when you're kind of closer towards Summer House. I don't think that there's necessarily a bad view, but if that's something that you super care about, there you go.
And another thing as far as viewing is that you'll probably see some videos, some photos and things like that, and people talking about viewing it from Sarasota Springs, which Sarasota is a city. Saratoga.
That's Saratoga Springs.
Thank you. You'll probably see some pictures, videos, and just overall some buzz from Saratoga Springs and watching it from over there. Yes, you can absolutely watch from there, and it's definitely welcome to watch from over there. However, they do not pipe in the music over there, so you won't hear it. You'll just hear the buzz of 800 drones.
And that last graphic will be backwards.
Yes.
Like the words.
The words, yeah.
I mean, it's all backwards, but the words on the last image will be backwards. Anyways, that is our evening. We hope you guys enjoyed following along. And just as a heads up, I can't monetize this video because copyright music, and I'm showing the show for you guys. So do me a favor, go watch another one of our videos, and then comment down below who your favorite Disney character is.
Let us know too if you plan to see Disney Dreams That Soar, or if you've already seen it, what your thoughts were. We would love to have a conversation with you in the comments. But other than that, that's all we have for you guys today.
Now go create your ever after.